Agree or disagree? Japan should change their education system of English. This is just my English lesson. Essays I wrote below a complete reflection. I don't have any particular opinions about the topic. This top, a case of agreement. This topic is very hot because the government wanted to change Japanese education system, but they couldn't. Many students and teachers opposed it. In my opinion, the Japanese government should change the system for the following reasons. Firstly, most Japanese people who graduate from universities or colleges cannot speak English well. In the world, people who graduate from universities or colleges are elites, and Japanese elites' English skills are much lower compared to other countries. This indicates that the Japanese English education system is wrong. Moreover, Japanese people like correctness, so people want correct English. Some authoritative people rule beginners English, even though they are not native speakers. What is correct English? Is it British, American, Canadian, or Indian? No one can define correct English. People can only feel whether the English is natural or not. So beginners should experience a lot of failure. Thus, Japan should change the education system to give students experience and eliminate authoritative people. Secondly, the Japanese evaluation system is wrong. Most students study English for their entrance examinations for high school, university, or college. The examinations are wrong to evaluate the students' English skill. In fact, most students cannot speak English although they study hard. Moreover, the tests are very convoluted. It is a waste of time for students to study hard to answer the very tiny or complex questions. In Japan, people don't need to speak English, so the only way to use it is the entrance examination. In Japan, there are some private English tests which are held many times every year, so they have big data and they are improving their tests. Generally, people evaluate someone's English skill by those private tests. In fact, companies use them to evaluate the English skill. Therefore, schools don't need to make such stupid, irrational English tests. Thirdly, Japanese companies cannot expand their business in foreign countries because it is hard for them to hire people who can speak English in business situations. Japan is an aging society. The market is shrinking. So this is one of the most important topics for them. CEOs of them strongly want uh, employees and newcomers to improve their English skills. So they need they put pressure on the government to change English lessons in schools. I think that improving English skills is only good for employers is not only good for employers but also good for employees because if people have good English skills they can choose foreign companies or good positions. In conclusion, Japanese elites cannot speak English. The evaluation system is wrong, and Japanese companies and employees need foreign markets. Thus, Japan should change the education system of English. A case of disagreement. This is a controversial topic in Japan. Many people talk about it, and many students oppose it. I think that this is a waste of time for the following reasons. Firstly, Uh, Most Japanese people should give up learning English. To be honest, Japanese cannot acquire good English skills. Some of them want to speak English like native speakers. However, it will not come true forever because they are Japanese. We can watch some non-Japanese elites or economists speak Japanese in the news TV program. Their Japanese is not natural. But most of them have been living in Japan for many years, and they have better brains than most Japanese. This fact indicates that most Japanese will never acquire foreign language skills like native speakers as well. It is a waste of time to think of improving the English education system in Japan. Secondly, The goal the goals of English lessons are ambiguous. If there is no goal, any process will be unproductive. However, as I wrote above, most Japanese will not acquire good English skills, so it is very difficult to set particular goals. If Japanese people recklessly want good English skill, they need personal English teachers, and to spend more than 3,000 hours on it. It means that every day they study English an hour for 8 years. Of course, it is nonsense. There are a lot of things Japanese people have to study. Then, what should they set as their goal of English lessons? No one can answer the question. I think that most people honestly say that most Japanese people cannot acquire it, so the Japanese government should give private lessons for some people who have good brains. English lessons are a waste of time and money for idiots. Thus, there is no need to improve English lessons. Thirdly, most Japanese people don't need to use English. In Japan, almost all people, news, entertainment, etc., use Japanese. The cases they need to study English are very rare. This topic is talking about general English lessons in schools. For some elites and the people who have interest in English, they should take private lessons. The Japanese government wants immigrants as workforce, so many people come from Asian countries. They cannot speak English. I think that many Japanese people teach them Japanese before Japanese people study English. In conclusion, Japanese people cannot acquire good English skills. They cannot set specific goals and they don't need to use English. Therefore, Japan doesn't need to change their education system on English. Thank you.